Welcome, everybody, to the latest Inside podcast. We're back, and I am, as always, grateful for this platform and this way of connecting and sharing and being together with those who are live, enjoying the live recording, and also those who listen afterwards. So, first, I would love, before you close your eyes and get into I always guide some sort of internal thing, I would love for you to actually look around you. And if you're on this Zoom call, if you're on the live, maybe you want to look at the people who are live. Maybe you want to look at who are you with. Just really take it in for a moment. Noticing how that affects your breath. Seeing if you can be here. And if you're not live, and if you are live now and you want to start looking around you in the room, just noticing, before we go in a little bit, how are you with what's around you? And when you're feeling this safety in your breath and in your body, it doesn't have to be, 100% or profound safety, but this just feeling of you're present with where you are. You can close your eyes if you want, and if you can. And now, with that same presence and awareness, noticing your internal landscape. Noticing where your body meets, where you're sitting, standing, or lying. And just seeing if you can continue to relax a little bit deeper. So in this moment, you can be held a little bit more. Relaxing the jaw. Letting that nice breath come when it wants to come. That means that you're landing deeper in your body. And it happens naturally, just through presence and relaxation. You notice the body starts to unwind a bit. Stretch, move. Great. So as always, in all of my places, all of my classes, and this podcast, please interact exactly as you wish, exactly how it feels good for you in this moment. And I have some different insights I want to share with you, some different stories. Some are vulnerable, some are probably going to be funny. Maybe they're going to be vulnerable and funny at the same time. And I'm excited to dive in. So just take your time to open your eyes again, or just stay in that state again, just doing whatever feels right for you in this moment. So for those who are new to the podcast, maybe this is the first episode you're listening to. My name is Elizabeth Finocchiaro, and I'm a breathwork guide and teacher. Been in the field for some time and been very devoted to conscious connective breathing and guiding these deep sessions. And alongside that, I realized there's so much more to teach. There's so much more to talk about, because it's not just about to have these transformational experiences, but it's about giving and receiving resources where we can actually apply what we're getting in the sessions, that we can actually sustain the teachings, that we can actually embody the things that we're experiencing. So it became a big passion of mine to not only guide the sessions, which for me is an art, but to be able to teach as well, to be able to come with concepts and to be able to come with stories and experiences that help the whole world of transformation and healing. So that is what I do, and I feel very blessed to be able to follow my heart in my life. I've done from a very young age, but it hasn't always been easy, but it's always felt right. So I've really followed my internal compass from a young age, and I feel very, very grateful for that. So in my spaces, there's always a combination between embodiment work and teachings, because I feel that mixture is so important. So it's nice to have you here. So last week, I'm going to dive into some things and some stories and what I want to share today. Last week, I came back from Sweden. Every year for the past 3 years, I've been invited together with Gabrielle and Anna Prana to guide breathwork at a women's festival called Sacred Womb. And I really recommend it for all women to check out this festival. We've been going for 3 years. They've been assisting me when I've been guiding my sessions, and there's something about being in a place with only women. I don't know if you guys have been to a women's circle before or any event like this, but it is deeply nourishing just to be there. The workshops are obviously very insightful and deep and transformative, but just being there, I truly believe, is healing in itself. So I always come back from that festival feeling nurtured, feeling deeper in my body, feeling just, yeah, it's very, very beautiful experience. And so I guided sessions, and Anna and Gabrielle were with me assisting, which I love to do. So in my breath work in person, I really like to be around one facilitator per 10 to 12 people breathing. Could go up to 15 people breathing, but that for me is really important as a part of my style, because I feel the level of care is really important for me, and the level of it's almost like a luxurious type of session. So I'm not disrespecting anyone who breathes, 200-300 people by themselves. Maybe they have like a no touch policy in their breathwork style, and I totally get that, and I totally honor that. And there's people that can hold really beautiful spaces. But I have loved having the support and the deep care for the people who come into the spaces, that they have somebody there with them. And because for me alone, it's impossible to go around to 40-50 people and give everyone attention because of the time. And I'm also guiding, and there's practical stuff. People need a tissue, people are going to the bathroom, like whatever it is. It's just really hard for me to do everything. So having a team for me is like, so it's just so incredible and so luxurious. So that is something that I just love. I love to do, and I love to be in that space. And something that really surprised me, as always in my work, is women coming to me and sharing in the end, and men for this sake. So not just at this festival, because it happens almost every live event that I do. They stay back and they share. They say, I've never experienced this style of breathwork before. And they're almost like confused and feeling like, where have you been? What is this? And some of them even tell me that they've been avoiding breathwork for many years until they heard about me or my sessions. Some say that they've been traumatized in breathwork sessions. And I'm getting this so much. People coming to me and being like, what is this? What are you doing? Who taught you this? What is this school called? What is this? What is this? And it lights a fire in me a bit more than it already is. I'm a very fiery person. I have like all fire in my astrological chart, I think. Maybe Gabrielle can confirm that. I think I have some water as well. Yeah, whatever. But so it really lit this fire in me even more, because people are really desiring this softer approach to breathwork. They're like, they didn't even think it was possible. And they've been really in this masculine approach to breath work. So for me, it was really always a reminder, and like I said, this passion that just gets stronger inside of me to bring this more out into the world and to see how it's received so well and received so deeply in people's bodies and systems and hearts and minds and breath. It's just so rewarding. And it seems to be very eye-opening for many, many people. And I am excited to kind of like drip in here. I'm not completely going to say everything, but I am creating and going to package a whole concept of what I'm doing, because I realize that I'm coming from a rebirthing background. Rebirthing breathwork is the background of what I was trained in for years as an apprentice and initiated in. But throughout the years, I've really created my own thing. I've really created my own style. And that style is going to be a thing soon. It's gonna be a name, and there's gonna be a more frame around it. So when people ask like, what is this? I'll be able to say it's this. Because I haven't been able to say that for like 8 years. And it's been really challenging and really difficult to not have a thing, have a name, have a concept. It's been okay though, because I've just kept going and did the work and kept showing up without the name. So I basically just branded my own name. So that's what I recommend for all of you that don't have like a name of your concept, or you don't know exactly what to call your thing. Just brand your name, brand your heart, brand what's moving the movement, brand your vision, like what's moving the vision. At some point the vision will have its own name. So that's what I've been doing for the past 8 years. I've just been branding me, my name, my heart, my thoughts, my passion. And now the passion is taking its own name. So I'll be able to steward that instead of just talk about the one who is stewarding. So I'm really excited about that. And it seems like it's going to be revolutionary. I don't know, maybe not, but it feels like it in the breathwork world. That's just how it feels, how it's so needed, this style and this approach. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I don't know when the official launch is going to be. It seems like it's kind of waiting and marinating in the back, but definitely this year. So very excited about that. And this leads me to a story that I want to share with you all that happened in Sweden. And it's a vulnerable story, and it could be a little bit funny as well, but it's something that I feel is so important, and it's such a big insight for me, and something I'm going through personally, professionally, and something that I feel you guys will resonate with. And it's like so common, but no one's talking about it. So every year at this festival, I do one-on-one sessions. So it's like an add-on thing. I hold workshops, and then I hold private sessions. And for the past 2 years, the private sessions have been pretty booked, and it's quite a full festival. So it's hard to like book in people because, you have to do it like in the lunch or in this, so it really makes the experience very full. So it's like, okay, I have a session there, I have a session there, then I'm guiding there, and then I want to go to that workshop, and then there's dinner. And then, so the past 2 years, I've had quite a full schedule with people booking and it really flowing. So I was like, of course, I'll do it this year. I would love to. It's so nice to go deeper one-on-one with people in that space. And I was together with 2 other women who were doing one-on-one work. So we all had to write our little things, like this time and this time you can sign up here. And this is the first time that it was actually publicly put on the wall. So the years before, it was just our number and people would send message, and it was kind of like done through private messaging. But this year we had to make a banner or like a paper that people had to sign up. Like this time, put your name here. And it was like on a big area where people could go themselves and sign up, like on a billboard area, like an announcement information area. And I was like, oh, that's fine. So I made my thing, my times, little pen, sign up. I can't wait to breathe with you. And the 2 other women as well. They had their thing next, all next to each other. Sign up, book your session. So the first day comes, and it's slow. Like no one's really signing up for any of our stuff. And I'm like, yeah, just checking every time I walk by, just checking. Is anyone signing up? No one's signing up. Then I start to see there's signups for the others, like lots of signups for the other people. And I'm looking at mine, and there's no signups. And mind you, this is an area, an info area, where 100 of women are waiting before every workshop, before every morning to get inside of the thing. So it's in the hub of the festival. It's like all eyes are right there. And it's a big picture of me, and it's a big picture of my list, and it's empty. More in like the end of day 1 or something, end of day 2. And then I'm talking to the girls who have one-on-one sessions, and they're so busy because they have their sessions. And they're like, oh, I don't have I have a speaker. I don't have this. I don't have that. And I have all the things because I was ready for one-on-one sessions. I'm like, here, take my speaker. I don't have sessions. Take this, take that. And they're in the WhatsApp group like, oh, I have a session here. And I'm just like, crickets, no sessions. So day 2 comes, or day 3, this is a 5-day festival. Day 3 comes around. I'm like, okay, there's gotta be a session. Like someone is gonna book with me. No session. The other girls are almost fully booked. I'm seeing names in their things like, all the names, all the bookings. So busy. And I'm just like, breathing. So I think it was end of day 3, I really started to get some feelings. And part of me wanted to take my list down because I was embarrassed. I was just like, how is this possible that no one wants to book with me? And the other ones are full. And they're trying to squeeze in more people. And they're so busy. People were even coming up to when me and another woman were talking, they were coming up and like taking the woman away from me to like book a session. Like it was really in my face. It felt like that, at least from my perception. And I was so embarrassed because I have created an image of myself this past years publicly. And I pride in having good quality, and I pride in having a successful practice, and I pride in doing a good job and wanting to give, and kind of things working out. And I'm sitting there with an empty list on day 4, even completely empty. And I'm like, we should take it down. I'm going to take it down. I'm just going to take it down. No one will notice. I'm just going to take my name down. I'm going to take my sheet down. No one's going to know. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to keep looking at it. So every time I walk by, because you walk by like 100 times, because it's the info center that 130 women are walking by every single day looking, waiting. Oh, what's going on today? Oh, there's a session. Oh. It's like the hub. And I'm looking at it every time as well. And this really lit another kind of fire in me of being able to free myself of things that I've been afraid of. In our practice, or you can imagine in your life, what are some emotions that you're really afraid of feeling? Like failure, embarrassment. These are things that I've been really afraid of in my life. Embarrassment has been a big one because I have a lot of pride from my generations, from my family. I'm Italian. Like there's a lot of pride in my genes that I'm supposed to be good, and I'm supposed to be strong, and I'm supposed to really always have my shit together, and know I'm strong. I don't need help. I don't need this. These are things that I've been deconditioning for so many years, but they're still like debris. And it's okay. I'm human, so it's fine. Like I'm not saying I'm supposed to be, free of ever feeling embarrassed again. That's not the point. The point is that just not to be afraid of feeling embarrassed, not to make that mean that I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough or all of these things. And I love this idea. I heard it from a coach. Her name is Shoshana Raven, and she said, you can fail without being a failure, and you can lose without being a loser. And that's really been my insight lately on another level. And there's layers to this. So you maybe you've experienced this already in your life and you're just like, yeah, this is, I know, I know this, done this, been there, done that. But I promise you there will be another layer that will come up in your life because it's endless. So the more you focus on freeing yourself emotionally in your life and healing yourself, there you're going to meet new layers and you're going to meet parts of you that you didn't even know were holding on or were scared. So I have this part in me that's really scared of embarrassment, especially public embarrassment. And being able to go those last couple days and not take away my sign and just be in that energy, even though I knew that there was probably 80% of the people, maybe even more, that didn't even notice. But it doesn't really matter because maybe some people noticed, maybe no one noticed. But just the fear of somebody noticing. It doesn't matter if someone noticed or not, I still had the fear of it happening. And that's the thing that's holding us back so much is the idea, the fear of it happening, but we don't even know if it's happening or not. But the fear of it might be happening is enough to feel it now. So I was embarrassed, not even knowing if someone actually knew or not. Does that make sense? I'm trying to like nail this because it's like a reverse thing. I was afraid to be embarrassed, but I was already embarrassed. I'm already holding that energy in my life. So until I can fully allow that to be and allow myself to feel it without rejecting myself, then suddenly I get to be here and talk about it and share it with you and use it as fuel and use it as inspiration and use it as strengthening and use it as a lesson and use it as character building. Do you guys feel this for those who are live? Is there like something clicking? Is there something landing? Just gonna grab some water. Hmm. So emotional freedom is a really big topic in my world right now with healing the heart. And it's kind of like that season where I'm talking a lot about emotions and healing and transformation. And emotional healing or emotional freedom is feeling the things that you are afraid to feel. And realizing that everything that you're afraid to feel, you already feel it. So I was afraid to feel embarrassed. I'm afraid to feel embarrassed in my life, but I'm already experiencing embarrassment. Feeling like I'm not doing enough, feeling like things aren't the way they should be. I should be stronger. I should be this. It should be that. So there's underlining presence of the things that I'm afraid of here, now. So when I allow myself to feel these things here, now, they get less power over me. And going back to this beautiful idea of you can fail and not be a failure. And you can lose and not be a loser. And this is quite a big insight. Because what really holds us back is when we lose, you label yourself as a loser. And that's actually more harmful than just losing, like whatever it is you lost. Or when you fail, when you make a mistake, when something doesn't work out, you're not a failure. You're a human being that just something didn't work out. And when you can hold yourself in that way in your life, it's very different. You get right back up. You get right back up and you refine and you develop and you get curious and you reflect and you get redirected. And it's just like, I feel like I got a piece of myself back through this experience that was very uncomfortable. So I wanted to share this because I knew there would be some gold and I always share through life experience and stories. And I remember Gabrielle even told me at the festival, because I told her this, because at one point I was holding it myself for like a day and a half. I wasn't telling anyone my experience. And then at one point I opened up, I think it was Gabrielle I opened up to first about it. I was like, I have to share something, I'm really feeling embarrassed. My sign is empty. Everyone else is full. And she goes, well, this is going to be a good story. You said something like that, paraphrasing, but you said this sounds like it's going to be a really good story to alchemize and to share at some point. And here we are. And then I started to share and open up with more people, and was vulnerable in the right kind of sharing settings. And yeah, I feel like I really moved through something to be able to share with you all here publicly. So yeah, for those who are alive, let me know what is landing. Yeah, feel how much labeling is hurting more than feeling it. Exactly. You keep it alive in a way and it gets stuck. Yeah. 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 Emotional freedom is actually allowing yourself to feel the things that you don't want to feel, and to feel the things that you think you're going to feel later, but they're actually present right now. It's like, think you're going to be a certain way if you fail, but that anxiety is here now. You're anticipating failure. So that anxiety is actually here now, but you think you're going to have anxiety when you fail. You have anxiety right now. Feel that. So moving energy is one of the most important things we can do as humans. And this is a lesson that I keep getting back and back and back. And it's an annoying lesson because you want the how to, you want well, if you do this, 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 you'll be good. But then it's always like, how well can you move energy? How well can you conduct energy in your body? And it's like, oh, then it's personal responsibility. And it's like, oh, you got to do that. I love this. I'm learning my son this, and I'm meeting new layers in me. Yeah, oh, that's so incredible that you are teaching this to your son. And through that, of course, you're going to meet new layers in yourself as well. Yeah, nobody is complete with these practices. It's just always a deepening, but it doesn't get easier. That's the thing. Like before, I would fail and I would feel failure and I would feel like a failure. I would label myself as a failure. Before, I would lose and I would feel the feelings of losing and I would be a loser. So I would compound a lot more when I was younger, before going into all this healing the heart, emotional intelligence stuff, where now I can feel the loss, I can feel the disappointment, I can feel the embarrassment without calling myself an embarrassment, without calling myself a loser. And that's like a huge it's a different world, but it's not saying that it goes away, but we do learn to handle it much easier. And that's the work works in that way. And that's what we're all aiming for, really. Like we're not trying to get away from emotions and get away from challenges. It's impossible. We live on earth. It's not going to be possible. But what we can do is stop labeling and defining ourselves based on the things that we're experiencing, and be more like strong in your worthiness and fluid in your becoming. That you're learning, you're growing. It's like it hurts a little bit, like there's some, like you'll get stung there and it's like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, but you continue to move and be fluid. But there's something in you that is solid, and that is your heart, and that is your worthiness as a human being. And if that can solidify in your life, you're you're gonna be good. Like I have no fear for you. Become my best friend and not my worst critic. Exactly, by practicing letting go of the hard patterns. Exactly. That's it. Good. So that is the one insight. I'm going to move on to the next now. So we have completed the first Rebirth mastermind I've done in my brand. And I've been wanting to do this for many years, actually, to have a mastermind type of container where it's a group, there's a chat, and I am giving coaching and I am really supporting the questions and the celebrations and the reflections that come up in the group. And in April, we had the first group go through it, and it was beyond what I thought it would be. I knew it would be beautiful, and I really felt the energy of each person coming in with a intention and really wanting to be there. And it was so transformative. So I want to talk a little bit, like, this is the next insight, and about rebirth. And do you need a rebirth? Does it sound dramatic? Does it sound like you're kind of forgetting about everything that was and you just want to make a new, like, rebirth yourself? Or, yeah, like, do you need that? And there's a pattern in the healing world that has a lot to do with, like, the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Like, you burn it down and then you re-emerge. And for many years, I've played with this energy, because when you are deeply in your sabotage, like I was, I would burn down all the time. So I would burn down my offers, I would burn down my sense of worth, I would burn down so many things quite regularly to only rebirth myself, to kind of come out again and be like, I'm back, feeling great, and everything's different. And at some point I stopped doing that, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to be very consistent in my life. I don't want to burn anything down. I want to keep building based on what I have instead of burning things down. And I've always asked myself this, like, when is a good time to burn things down and when is a good time to build on what you already have? Because there is an urge inside of all of us, the chaos, the destructive part in us, which can also have a powerful side, this boundary part, this enough part, this kind of fierce energy in all of us, that is like, when do we use that? When do we just, like, knock everything down and burn everything down and start over and say no more? And then where is the other part of us that's, okay, well, I have something good here. Maybe it's not exactly how I want it to be. So let's innovate. Let's continue to create. Let's continue to move the energy instead of making a dramatic, thing. So rebirth for me is, in one way, it can be both. And it really depends on where you're at and who you are, to which one you need in your life. Some people really benefit from burning everything down. Sometimes there's a lot of lessons in the ashes. There's a lot of lessons in the nothingness. And others, they benefit a lot from just continuing what you got, and don't burn. Just, it's like a house. Like, don't burn it down, but if you need help with some structural things, just kind of reinforce, but you don't need to burn. And in this mastermind that we had in April, I feel like it ended up being a mixture of both. There was this feeling of a lot changing, but at the same time honoring exactly who we are, where we came from, and just building on what we already have. So when I say rebirth and I talk about my rebirth mastermind, excuse me, I need a little bit more water. So when I talk about rebirth, it's not always that you have to reinvent all of you, but maybe there's a reignition that needs to happen, or that you're feeling called for, or that you're feeling will be good for you. So this is also an insight that you can take with you in your life, and to see, is there parts that I do need to burn down and say goodbye to, and really it's the end and I want to create something new? Or do I want to keep what I have and maybe reignite it? So it could be called the reigniting mastermind as well, or this energy of It doesn't have to be that you're like in the end and you're burning everything down just to rebuild everything. It can also be that you want to reignite and to continue building and reinforcing what you already have. So this mastermind was very, very beautiful. I loved it so much. And the next one is in June. So if you're interested in being in that space, it is a small group container and it's on Telegram, Monday to Friday. It's a chat where you get a lot of hands-on support and also be in a group. So you get to listen to the others' questions and really follow their processes, because we all are mirroring and triggering and feeling each other, which is so valuable. And then there's a breath session every week. And I also, within the rebirth, I suggest that you do more than one session a week. So that is kind of the big thing in this space, is that you are doing multiple sessions and not just one. Because when there's a reignition, yeah, some parts just needs to soften. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like you don't need to reinvent yourself. Just need to get in contact with yourself. And that's something I've really learned as well. It's like really, I don't need to create something new within myself. I don't need to create this new thing outside of myself. There's just parts in myself that want attention. And when I give them that attention and when I integrate these parts in myself, suddenly I feel inspired. I feel more whole. I feel renewed, because there's a part of me that's like with everything else now. So that is the space to be in. If that type of topic is doing something with you when you're listening to this right now. What date is the masterclass in June? Do you mean the masterclass inside of Breathe Live? Like the one class that I teach every month? Or the mastermind? Sometimes all these names are a bit confusing. You probably meant mastermind. Yeah, what I just mentioned. It starts June 2nd and then it goes for 4 weeks. So June 2nd, Monday, June 2nd, and then it goes for 4 weeks. I can put the link here for you guys who are live, and then it'll be in the show notes for those on Spotify and YouTube. Yeah, Cecilia, I really recommend it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So that is a space to be in if you want to talk about these things and get direct support and coaching and really be in a incredible container for your growth and your transformation. So, and there's a lot of breath work. So there's a new session every week, and then I remind or recommend to do as many sessions as you can, as many sessions as you feel called for, because a lot of the times the softening, the reignition, the rebirth, it requires more than just maintenance work. It requires more than just one session here or there. If you're doing 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions a week, you're going to really get in touch with something, and there's going to be change. There's going to be transformation. And then I'm there to support every step of the way for those 4 weeks. And if you join Breathe Live, you get your month credited towards it. So that's a perfect opportunity. If you've been thinking about joining the membership, then you will get your month credited towards the mastermind if you ever want to do that. And then you become an alumni as well. So if you do the mastermind once, you'll always get a discounted price for all the rounds in the future. So if you ever want to join another round, you become like a family member of the Rebirth Mastermind. All right. So there was something that came up when I was talking about this new insight. Something came up. Yeah, I kind of lost it. We'll see if it comes back. Yeah. We'll see if it comes back. So the next thing I want to share is the topic this week inside of the Ripple Effect. So the Ripple Effect is my mini membership. It's $29 a month. And every month I do 1 week worth of audios. So Monday to Sunday, 7 audios every month. Been doing it for almost a year now. I think actually May is the 1 year anniversary because I did Muse May last year. And then on the back end of that, I continued, I think it was in June or yeah. So there's a lot of content there for you. Everything's organized really nice through topics and themes. And there's a community chat there that's also so supportive and reflective. So this week, the topic is being plugged in to life. And I feel this energy with this topic because I feel like it's going to hit a lot of points and there's going to be a bit of triggering and it's going to be kind of like confronting. And so many insights are already come out and I've only done day 1, so I haven't recorded day 2 yet. I'm going to do it after this call. But some reflection questions, some insights around this is really what is that? What comes up in you when I say, are you plugged in? Like, what are you plugged into? And when do you plug out? Because when it comes to emotional intelligence and all these things I've been talking about today, about feeling, emotional freedom, about igniting, about rebirthing, about softening, about, emotional healing, it has so much, it comes down to staying plugged in. Because the moment you plug out is usually the moments of it is the moments of disconnect. It's the moment of forgetting that you are a growing human that is moving, dynamic, shifting, learning, going through whatever it is that you're going through. So you plug out and you say, well, I'm a loser. Or you plug out and say, well, I'm a failure. You plug out and say, I can't do this. You plug out and say, I don't have capacity for this, which is, all these things are valid. They're parts of you that need to be seen. So I'm not saying that, you're a bad person for plugging out. But what I'm inviting you is to be like, can you be someone who also stays plugged in? And that's what we're talking about today and this week inside of the Ripple Effect. And I'm really, really looking forward to continuing this conversation because I feel like it's connected to so many parts of ourselves that if we could stay plugged in, if we could stay connected, that's really all we need to do in this world. It's really the plug out that gets you out. And you're wondering like, okay, well, why aren't things, moving and developing? It's because you're not plugged in. You're not feeling. When things get tough, you plug out. You check out. And then you have to build all the momentum again when you plug yourself back in. You're like, I'm back. It's again this kind of like phoenix. You can only burn yourself down enough times until you get quite tired. So if you're constantly unplugging, you're kind of depleting, and then you have to rebuild yourself. You have to recreate something. You have to kind of, and it's okay. I've been there so many times and I still unplug in little ways. Like I have to check in with myself throughout my day. Be like, am I unplugging right now? Is there something uncomfortable coming up and I just want to go to my phone? That's unplugging. I don't want to feel this. Let's do something else. Let's distract. Let's not do that. Let's not do it. Let's avoid. So that conversation, if you feel something there, join the Ripple Effect. It's $29 a month and you get so much value. It's almost crazy. I probably am going to put the price up on it soon because of the value that is in there. But if you're feeling the call, I would love to have you. So the last thing I want to share is that yesterday was the opening ceremony for Healing the Heart, the 9th edition of my emotional intelligence program. And it was such a beautiful opening. And the results, there was already something that happened in the group that was completely, I felt in alignment. I was just like, wow, the participants are already getting their swords out and cutting things that don't serve them in their life. I woke up to a message of being like, I did this already. And it's just like, wow, choosing yourself, choosing your truth, choosing your heart, and really not falling into the old patterns. And this program for me is, I feel like there's a lot of fire on this call today. I feel another fire in me, because healing the heart has been challenging for me to teach and to talk about because of the collective shadow and my personal shadow. Because of what I talk about inside of the program, it's exactly the shadow that doesn't want me to teach the program. So the same shadow that we are trying to become friends with and heal and not have control our lives anymore is the same exact shadow that is not wanting me to teach it. And there's going to be certain things in your life as well as you're getting out in the world, maybe with your own brand and your own business or your own art or your own creations, where it's going to require you to really look at some shadows. The shadow that doesn't want you to shine, the shadow that doesn't want you to be free, the shadow that doesn't want you to speak up for your truth, the shadow that doesn't want you to be liberated, the shadow that doesn't want you to be free. And you're going to have to look at those, because that's going to be the same shadow that's going to tell you to not do your art. The same shadow that is sabotaging you, collective and personal, of like, no, don't do it tomorrow. Don't worry. No one's going to notice. And it's not that important. And what if it doesn't work? And just don't do it. Do something else. It's all like, don't worry. That's the same shadow that you have to meet within yourself to be able to get your work out into the world and to be able to hold yourself and your work at the same time. To lead from your heart, to lead from your soul, instead of identity and ego and the shadow, the sabotage, the saboteur. And they live in the same body. There's this amazing post that I made some years ago. It's probably going to recycle soon. It'll come up in my memories. But it's this experience of, it's incredible to be a human because we're living in the body where the saboteur and the creator exist. They're both there. And they're both, there's so many different parts of ourselves. But the saboteur is really like an unmet child in many ways that hasn't been able to feel safe. When you're allowing yourself to feel, like going full circle to the beginning, when you're allowing yourself to feel the things that you're afraid of feeling, suddenly the saboteur doesn't really run the show anymore. And it's still, the feelings still come, and it's still a part of you, and it's still part of this experience, but it's not this whole identity. It's not this whole thing. And that's what I really wish for all of us in this world, especially the more emotional, sensitive, empathic beings that a lot of people in my world are. This is something that I really, really want us to strengthen and get in contact with, this part of us that allows ourselves to feel without shutting down, allows ourselves to go through hard times without labeling yourself as whatever you think you are. Because once you do that, then the conversations change. You have different conversations in your life. Then you're excited and you're talking about what you're creating and what's going on. And there's not this like, oh, but I don't know, and da da da. But and I still experience this. I still experience doubt and fear and worry. And there's still so much for me to also experience in this life, obviously. So, but my journey from where I was to where I am now makes me very excited about where I'm going. And I hope that you can also see the same in your process, that you're just like, be excited. The more you do this work, it works, and then it gets easier. And I really want you to feel in your heart and in your body and get excited about being around people where conversations are changing, where there's less worry in the conversations that you're having with people, and it's more creative, and it's more accepting, and it's more inclusive, and it's more like all of you is welcome. And what are you creating? What are you developing and believing deeply in each other instead of just feeding each other's fears? So if you're ready for any of this stuff, my work is definitely for you. These are the conversations that we're having in depth in all of my spaces. So you can really find whatever price point or whatever topic or kind of entry point feels best for you. The ripple effect is a very simple way to get into my work because there's a community chat and the voice notes with the different topics and teachings. Breathe Live is like this the classic place to be, like the biggest hub of breathwork, meditation, master classes. Like that's where you really get to experience my work in your daily life. And then something like Healing the Heart or the Rebirth Mastermind or my breathwork training program, that's kind of the next level. Okay, you want to go deeper and experience, either become a breathwork facilitator, or you want to go deeper into your own rebirth and really get that personal support in the mastermind, or you want to get the resources and have those conversations inside of Healing the Heart. So it's not too late to join Healing the Heart. Tomorrow is the first module, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central European time. So there's plenty of time for you to join and watch the opening call and just jump in. So if you're still feeling a little whisper or a little call, you're really welcome to that. So you know where to find me if there's any questions. I really hope there was a couple insights here that you can bring with you, and something that started this whole podcast and also the ripple effect a year ago. They started around, no, they didn't start around the same time, but I guess it was the ripple effect, not this podcast. This idea that this time we spent together, I'm very grateful that you took your time to listen to this and be here. If you got one thing that did something in your heart, in your mind, in your body, take that thing and run with it. You don't need everything I said to be like the most profound thing in the world, and you don't need to agree with everything I said. But if there's one thing, then I hope that you can take it and do something with it, let it compound in your life. And this is something I think is so healing, and talking about abundance type of energy, being like, no matter what situation you're in, you take one little nugget, and when that nugget hits your heart or hits your mind, it turns into 1,000 more nuggets. So you become a person who creates value everywhere you are. You're not someone who needs to suck everything out of everything. Be like, well, I'm here, so you better say everything and answer my question, and you better say everything right, and everything needs to be for me. It's like, you can relax a little bit, and if you got one thing and you're able to turn that into 100 other things or 2 other things, you double it, then you become a person who creates value, if that made sense. That's a very big thing in my world the past year. Focusing on abundance and not lack. I'm sending so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And you can join the next podcast. It's every third Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central European time. And you can listen on Spotify and YouTube if you want to watch the video version. So thank you all, whoever joined live, for being here and sharing your reflections and your energy with me, and for everyone that listens to the podcast. I will see you where we are next connected. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.